In just a matter of a couple of weeks, the Sun Belt standings have been jumbled. Great for the fans, but it can be tough on the coaches. I'm Glen Dehmer, and this is Inside the Sun Belt. What it means is that it appears the race to be the conference champion is going to go right down to the final weekend. Time to check out the highlights from Week 11, starting with a huge Thursday night game between Louisiana Monroe and Arkansas State. Ryan Applin got the Red Wolves going. Nobody is open, so he takes off. Sprints 38 yards for the touchdown, and Arkansas State leads 17-10 at halftime. Opening drive of the third quarter, and Cody Wells to Rashawn Caesar, who splits the defensive backs and scores. It's all tied at 17. It took Arkansas State all of one offensive play to get that back. Applin looks like he's going to run, but watch as he jump passes to Taylor Stockemer, who is wide open. 70 yards for the touchdown. Now, some thought he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, but on review, it was good. 24-17. That turned all the momentum to Arkansas State. David Oku had two short touchdowns before the quarter was over, and it was 38-17 after three quarters. Arkansas State wins the battle for the conference lead with a 45-23 win over Louisiana Monroe. Western Kentucky, trying to stay in the title chase, hosted Florida Atlantic, and this touchdown to Willie McNeil had the Hilltoppers leading 14-7. FAU answers with a Graham Wilbert to Daniel McKinney hookup, and it's 14-all at halftime. The Owls take the lead in the third as it's McKinney again, and they lead 21-14. Fourth quarter, and K'Wan Jakes finds Antonio Andrews, a 24-yard touchdown, but the Toppers still trail 24-21. FAU marches right back downfield. Damian Fortner scores 31-21. Looks like the Owls are going to put the game away, but Quantera Smith makes a huge play.
Look out, it is loose and picked up. He's to the 50, 45, 40, he's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
The Hilltoppers still trail 31-28. Then the FAU defense clinches the game as Keith Reeser with the pick six. The final at FAU 37, Western Kentucky 28. North Texas hosted South Alabama. The Jaguars jump out to an early lead behind Kendall Houston and Ross Matheny. But it was all tied at 14 at halftime. But early in the third, here comes Brandon Bird.
And in big open spaces, here goes Brandon Bird to the 40, to midfield. A juke move to the left, 35-30, 25-20, Bird to the 10, 5, he's in, touchdown.
21-14 Mean Green. South Alabama turns it over on the next series. Zachary Orr with the recovery. That leads to a field goal, and North Texas wins 24-14. In non-conference games, Louisiana Lafayette played at 6th-ranked Florida and trailed 13-3 early in the third quarter. But that's when the Ragin' Cajuns got it going. Terrence Broadway to Harry Peoples for 19 yards to the 19. Moments later, Alonzo Harris scores to cut the deficit to 13-10. On the next series, Florida is forced to punt.
Christie's punt is blocked. Scooped up by the Ragin' Cajuns. Touchdown!
That's Blake Comeny with the touchdown, and the Ragin' Cajuns lead 17-13. On to the fourth quarter, and a Brett Baer field goal makes it 20-13. But that's when disaster struck. Florida scores twice in the final minute and 42 seconds, and Louisiana Lafayette deserved a better fate, but lost 27-20. Troy hosted Navy on Veterans Day weekend. Deion Anthony to Chandler Worthy, and watch as Worthy weaves his way across the field for a 34-yard touchdown. Trojans led 14-0 after one quarter. Second quarter, and Corey Robinson at quarterback, and he goes long to B.J. Chitty. 62 yards, and it's 21-0 Trojans. Navy got a couple of scores, but Anthony responded with this 44-yard keeper right up the middle, 28-21 at halftime. Fourth quarter now, and the defense comes up big. That's a fumble, and Derek Upshaw recovers for Troy. That led what turned out to be the game-winning drive. Anthony his second touchdown, and Troy wins 41-31 over Navy. The Offensive Player of the Week is Ryan Applin of Arkansas State. He was responsible for 3 touchdowns and 378 yards of total offense. That includes a career-high 334 yards passing. Emeka Onyenikwu of Louisiana Lafayette is the Defensive Player of the Week. He had a career-high 9 tackles, 8 of them solo, along with 2.5 sacks and 2.5 tackles for loss in the game versus Florida. And the Special Teams Player of the Week is Will Scott of Troy. He booted a pair of field goals and dropped his lone punt of the day down at the 2-yard line in the win over Navy. Week 12 starts on Friday night, and it's a battle of Florida as FAU hosts FIU. It's a 7 o'clock game, and you can watch it on ESPNU. On Saturday, Arkansas State plays at Troy. It's a 2:30 game and is televised on the Troy IMG Sports Network. Also at 2:30, South Alabama hosts Middle Tennessee. North Texas travels to Louisiana Monroe. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. And Louisiana Lafayette welcomes Western Kentucky to town. That's a 6 p.m. game, and you can see it on ESPN3. In volleyball, Western Kentucky closed out the season undefeated and Eastern champs, going 15-0 in conference play. Troy claimed the second spot and the conference tournament number 2 seed. Over in the West, North Texas beat UALR over the weekend and claimed the top spot in the division and the number 3 seed. UALR, due to losing the tiebreaker, is second, followed by Arkansas State. The conference tournament starts Thursday at Western Kentucky. Action starts at noon with second-seeded Troy playing 7th-seeded Louisiana Lafayette. That's followed by number 3 North Texas meeting number 6 Middle Tennessee. At 5 o'clock, host Western Kentucky plays FIU, and to round out the day, number 4 UALR meets Arkansas State. The championship match is set for Saturday at 1 p.m. And by the way, the volleyball tournament will be streamed live on sunbeltsports.org. That's free of charge. The championship game will also be available on ESPN3. And that's your look inside the Sun Belt. I'm Glen Dehmer.